So, how are we going to navigate our unretired lives for the next 20 or 30 years of our third act of life? So, we're talking about navigating your unretired life, and we're focusing on infinite supply flowed a certain way. That's a term used by Wallace D Wattles. We're talking about this. My name is Art Johnson of New World Communications, and here we go. The story we need to tell is about navigating our unretired lives, enlightened business development wise. People want to know about our secret sauce, as this is part of it. So here we go. So we're going to be talking about the law of giving and receiving. And you might have heard this in church at the time when they're asking for the tithe, but there's more to it than this. And that includes also churches doing the good things that they do. And also about tapping into the law of infinite supply. And one of the milestones in the evolution of my own consciousness has been with the discovery of this book called The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D Wattles. And it was written in 1910. His book inspired Rhonda Byrnes to produce TheSecret, a DVD that later became a best-selling book that introduced a broader public to the law of attraction. Interesting. And this got me to dive deeper by listening to Wattles' actual book and its 1910 Science of Getting Rich, offered as the proven mental program to a life of wealth, which could prove to be quite helpful for us unretirees interested in learning more about Wattles' mindset and key premises for navigating our unretired lives. So, premise number one, this is very interesting that there's a thinking stuff from which all things are made, in which its original state penetrates and fills the interspaces of the universe. This is very, very close to what quantum physicists are talking about, a unified force field that exhibits intelligence that they quite can't explain how or why. Premise number two, a thought in the substance produces a thing that is imaged by the thought. And that man can form things in his thought and impressing his thought upon formless substance can cause the thing he thinks about to be created. So this is talking about that process of creation through thinking. Interesting. In order to do so, man must pass from the competitive to the creative mind. Otherwise, he cannot be in harmony with the formless intelligence, which is always creative and never competitive in spirit. Boy, that speaks to me. And this is what, I was in a previous video, Ernest Holmes, another New Thought person, said, don't worry about competition. You have none. You just need to think about wholeness, which is related to this. And so another premise is that man may come into full harmony with the formless substance by entertaining a lively and sincere gratitude for the blessings it bestows upon him. Gratitude unifies the mind of man with the intelligent substance so that man's thoughts are received by the formless. Man can remain upon the creative plane only by uniting himself with the formless intelligence through a deep and continuing feeling of gratitude. So as I'm doing my YouTube videos, I'm deeply grateful for what is being manifested through me and as me, reading these books and really, getting lit on fire. And premise number six is man must form a clear and definite mental image of the things he wishes to have, to do, or become. And he must hold this mental image in his thoughts while being deeply grateful to the Supreme that all his desires are granted to him, even before seeing them. And boy, when you learn about YouTube, you have to really have that gratitude and that belief, that hold that mental image of succeeding with the end in mind way before people even start to find your content. way before YouTube starts putting you in front of other people and you start expanding your business and creating more influence. The man who wishes to get rich must spend his leisure hours in contemplating his vision and in earnest thanksgiving that reality is being given to him. Too much stress cannot be laid on the importance of frequent contemplation of the mental image coupled with unwavering faith and devout gratitude. This is the very process by which the impression is given to the formless and the creative forces set in motion. So here we talk about giving and receiving. And here's what they're saying is by going into this gratitude and this deep contemplation, you can actually connect with the infinite and give to infinite the impression that to be had in your own thoughts and setting creative forces in motion. Wow. The creative energy works through the established channels of natural growth in the industrial and social order. Now, he wrote this in 1910. There was no internet. There was no YouTube, no Facebook, no social media. So if you just look at this as a kind of a universal statement, I'm talking about the established channels now in the universe, the internet, Facebook that I'm on right now, and even AI as a new channel of expression. All that is included in his mental image will be surely brought to man who follows the instructions given above and whose faith does not waver. What he wants will come to him by the way of established trade and commerce. That's exactly what I'm talking about. In order to receive when it shall come to him, man must be active, and this action can only consist in more than filling his present place. He must keep in mind his purpose to get rich through the realization of his mental image, all that can be done that day, taking care to do each act in a successful manner. There are many, many steps to this. I'm learning to do this YouTube right and to do life right. So this is really, really cool. And he must give. This is really nice. I'm listening to this. I'm taking it to heart. He must give to every man a use value in excess of the cash value he receives, so that each transaction makes for more life. He must so hold the advancing thought that the impression of increase be communicated to all with whom he comes in contact. Whoa, I'm loving this. Tell me, this is how-to information for me. The man or woman who practices the foregone instructions will certainly get rich, and the riches they receive will be in exact proportion to the definiteness and of the fixity of their purpose, the steadfastness of their faith, and the depth of their gratitude. And so people say, well, yeah, where's the science in this? What scientists talked about this? Who's blah, blah, blah? Well, he says that his sources of getting the science of getting rich come from his study of the Hindus, of Hegel and Emerson, but that this pragmatic guide is for the common man and woman, not philosophers or metaphysicians, or for recovering academics. You know who you are. So this is really neat. So this is the story that I am evolving to tell about navigating our unretired lives and enlightened business development wise, our secret sauce, giving and receiving and tapping into the law of infinite supply. So how am I doing? How am I speaking to you? If you like what I'm talking about, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and subscribe to my channel here by clicking on this little icon here. And below this video, you can actually do that and leave a comment. I'm really interested in caring about you, what you're thinking about this, even if this doesn't make any sense to you after thinking about it somewhat. I want to know that. what do you care about? How can you really get to the exact things that you need to do? This has been in principles here that we're going to apply practically in specific ways in a certain fixity of purpose and definiteness that will come from the questions that you ask. So really weigh in with your questions and your comments, and I look forward to working with you. If you need to talk to me or communicate with me, you can text or call me at 206-920-8067. You can email me at support@newworldcom.com. You can visit my website, view my suite of global communications and e-learning services. Go to my contact page and actually request a complimentary Zoom call with you and maybe key members of your group or team, or even you. I really want to learn from you and learn what it is that you need, and so that we can have that show up in stuff. This is a Zoom call, so I can have 100 seats. So, and I can do conferences and even trade shows and job fairs based on the need that you express. So thank you so much, and I look forward to working with you.